committee for youth, chairman for Saclepea Youth Planning Committee and language translator, among others. He co-founded of Mala Trade and Translation and Classification in the AITA. This organization used resources received for donors to support Mala classes to provide Saclepea and menstrual region. Ladies and gentlemen, let's rise and receive our honorable guest for a global as by our father, Uncle, brother, honorable Tony G. Myers. Honorable, you are welcome. Yes.
So, of course, welcome to the official commencement convocation. Action.
Before the guest speaker speaks, the founder of Educational Testimony, specifically Johnny Voker High School, has put everyone in our work into the board here to perform service ceremony before the guest speaker speaks. So please, we invite your attention.
Hallelujah. I'm so happy you are here today. I want to officially welcome the Honorable Minister. On behalf of the School Board of Saclepea, Education 31, the DEO, officially welcome by the Honorable Minister. We are very, very proud indeed for the program of Johnny Voker High School. Us today. Honorable Minister, you are welcome and thank you. Please look behind you.
Yeah.
How are you?
Honorable Lord Mayor of Saclepea, Absentia, as we understand, he is seriously sick, and we wish him speedy recovery. All parents and former officials of national and local government here present, the principal and members of the faculty of Johnny Voker School, principals and faculties of other schools from the Saclepea Community School System, the 2024-25 graduating class, the Commencement class, student leadership and student body of JBS, parents, guardians, well-wishers, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated. As I sat here following the program, I was transported back to my own graduation as part of the 1986 graduating class in this very auditorium from the very historic center of regional learning. I will soon be turning 70 years old. I can still visualize my late, I can still visualize Mr. Andy Roman, my diploma on this very stage. And my late aunt standing beside me, smiling very broadly, smiling even more than me, because she contributed significantly to that success. Over the years, the rest of the world beyond the Christian community has adopted several sayings of the Lord Jesus. And one of the sayings is when he responded to people who asked him why he was not seeing his hometown of Nazareth as often as he was in the other part of Israel. And he said, a prophet is not respected in his hometown. But I, without wanting to contradict the wisdom of the Lord Jesus, have my own perspective. Whenever I am honored by my children, my family, my friends, and institutions like Johnny Voker, and I usually say on occasions like that there is no better validation than to be recognized by your own people. As the saying goes, if the horse does not market you, the street will not buy you. I therefore feel honored to be called upon to deliver the keynote address in the school where I learned my ABC and where I completed my high school. Every year we observe hundreds of high school graduation programs and enjoy the spectacular processions of tens of thousands of young people, beaming with smiles from ear to ear, as they receive their diplomas as proof that they have completed more than 10 years of a challenging but hope-filled journey. Those students, their families, and loved ones have great expectations for the years ahead. Some will go on to fully realize those dreams. Others will experience partial fulfillment of their dreams. Sadly, others will not. The difference among the outcomes of fully realizing your dream, partially realizing your dream, and not realizing at all lie in the count of goals that each person set for himself. The efforts they apply in realizing those goals and the extent to which they will focus on that goal. To discuss this a little more about why some students go on to fulfill their high school dreams and others do not, I have selected to speak to you on the theme, do not let your goal fade away. Do not let your goal fade away. Well, in the days of Polaroid camera, when you take a photo, they have to go wash it. And wash the photo. It's very bright and shining from the beginning, but over time, the photo began to fade. And then you will not even recognize who are on those photos. There are both of us there from the day before digital camera, we have old time photos. And when you look at it, you will not even recognize some of the people. So the C is with your goal. Depending on how you position yourself, depending on the efforts you make, your goal will remain forever bright ahead of you, or it will fade away. And you will not even recognize what you wanted to be when you were living after. So I want us to go through this in detail. So let us get some definition that will give us a context of what it means to have a goal. Webster Dictionary defines goal as the end towards which effort is directed. The end towards which effort is directed. We have a football field here with two goalposts at the end. And all of us have to watch football every night. The goalposts are placed at the end of the field so that all the efforts that the two players on the field apply will end in one of those goals. So the goal is in the middle. The goal is at the end of the field. So in life, your objective, your future career, whatever field is the end, is what you want to reach. Maybe you want to do something on your effort, but you have to apply effort to get it. There are also other meaning or other words that are synonymous with the word goal. One of them is called intention. I have the intention to do something. I have the intent. I have purpose. You can have design. You can aim. You can aim. You can have an object or an objective, etc. All of these words are similar to goal. But I want us to look at the first definition was the dictative, straight from the dictionary. Let us look at the connotative meaning. And we used 3 of the synonyms to describe this. Number 1, intention. Intention means what you have in mind to do or to bring about. Then you have purpose. Purpose means something that you are determined to do, your determination. Then we have design. Design means a carefully calculated plan. Take for example, this podium is a design. Somebody sat down and planned the calculator how the podium will look. The cell phone will roll in your hand. That's a design. The plants will drive are designed. People sat down and carefully calculated to come out that way. And then there's another definition of goal, which will be our focus for the rest of our discussion. And that definition is a goal is something that is attained by prolonged effort and hardship. Goal is something that is attained by prolonged effort and hardship. Prolonged may require long time. Then there is effort. Then there is hardship. Which of you among this group, when we say you never experience hardship from ABC to now, which of you will tell me that the very day you started school as a day you graduated? Which of you will tell me that you never went to hardship? You never apply effort. Why? So what does it mean? That means that prolonged implies that every before a long-lasting goal requires significant investment of time. Your colleague, the valedictorian, talk about investing in education. You don't want to invest money. The most important thing, invest in education. Money is important, yes, but time is more important than the money. I can pay your school fee from now to master level, but if you don't have the time, it's meaningless. And then when you talk about effort, it means that you have to invest your time. You need physical and mental commitment. That's the effort. You got to gather the money, wait for co-worker as a producer, so that you come without food. You got to walk distances, or you got to wait in the ring. That is the effort. And then hardship. Hardship here means sacrifice. You have money. You want to buy the latest jeans, but you don't have uniform. You have money. You want to recharge your phone, but you have to pay for the school payment. That is a sacrifice. You have to sacrifice what you need in order to get something out of this education. And hardship implies that what? You have to give sacrifices or you have opportunity cost to pay. I'm sure you know what that means. Opportunity cost. How you say that? Yo. Either your data is proposed or the come from the teacher. Either your uniform or the later fashion. So prolonged effort and hardship is what you require to achieve your goal. Things about goal is that you don't just get to your goal. If you don't go back to the focus scenario, When the football is central, they don't just go. There are a number of things that have to happen before. You have to pass a ball up there after the ball. You have to make some tackles, you have to make some dribbles. There are various things that need to happen between the time you start and the time you reach a goal. So the process to achieving your goal has to be a plan that you make up to the point you achieve your goal. And so every meaningful and long-lasting goal requires a plan. And this plan should have a number of intermediate objectives. If your goal, for example, is to become a lawyer, to become a doctor, to become a business tycoon, or to become a public policy economist like me, you should have a plan for achieving that goal. For a plan to deliver its desired goal, the plan must have what development and project management experts call SMART objectives. S-M-A-R-T. SMART is what we call acronym. When you put the first word together or several words together to make a word. So in SMART, the S stands for specific, the N stands for measurable, the A stands for achievable, the R stands for realistic, and the T stands for time-bound. So there are a number of things that you have to achieve before you get the goal. For example, when you started school, your goal was to complete kindergarten. First objective, to get out of kindergarten. Then after kindergarten, the next objective was to complete elementary school and pass the WAS for elementary. Then after that, you had to complete high school and pass the WAS for junior high. Now there's a final objective towards a goal. You have completed 12th grade academic education and you have completed once. So there is a latest objective or the minor objective that you have to achieve before you get to your goal. So what do we mean by an objective being specific? An objective is specific if it is clearly defined and understood by you and those with whom you share your objective. If you don't understand what you want to do, you don't understand what you want to do, nobody can help you understand it. When you are going to school, every day, you can't say, I want to pass my spirit. So that was an objective. You have to understand exactly what you mean by you want to pass in the first period. You to just go 7 tests, or you want to pass with higher marks. Then you later send it to second period. And then finally, the objective between passing once. So you who have this objective must understand it very clearly. That's the only way you will know what to do to achieve that objective. And the objective should also be measurable. Measurable means it should be measured in quantities. The quantities, they should be quantifiable. Say, for example, you need to finish a number of classes to finish your kindergarten. So you have ABC, K1, K2, or whatever. Those are the measurement of completion of kindergarten. Then they have a number of grades that you should complete to say you are elementary. Similar with junior high and senior high. So the objective of finishing those levels can be measured. They have been measured both in the test grades, because in other school from 0 to 100%, which are countable. And the goal should also be what? Achievable. The objective should be achievable. It's easy to say, I want to do something, and it's another thing to be sure that you can actually do it. It's easier to say you can do something than to say you can actually do it. So you should know that you have the ability to achieve your objective. So an achievable objective is one in which the possibility of success is far higher than the risk of failing. For example, you want to do a career in engineering, but how good are you in mathematics and physics, in geometry? You want to be a pilot. Do you understand geography well and atmospheric science? If you want to be a doctor, how good are you in chemistry, biology, and physics? And so on and so forth. So to be able to achieve your objective, you should understand what is required for you to achieve that objective. And then another one is the objective to be realistic. It should not be fantastic. It should not be dream. It should not just be talk and talk. So a realistic objective is one that you can achieve and constraint that you face. Okay, here you are. Maybe you are from a low income family. And then for maybe 300,000 a year. Then you decide to go to a university or what you can afford. Yes, anybody can go to any school. You make each part. But is it realistic? Maybe is that objective realistic? So it's not just about being able to do it, but all of the opportunities and challenges that are involved, you should convince yourself that yes, I can make it. And then finally, the objective should be what? But a time for objective is the one that you can achieve with a first time free before you run out of your all of you are in your 20s. And this is the best time to go to school. This is the best time to do all the hard studies. Because a time is coming when you will have other demands on your time. When you will not have the time to spend 6 hours studying straight. Children will be involved. Other responsibilities in the home will be involved. Even your community will expect more from you. You can no longer afford to go further. So while you still have the time, make sure whatever objective you achieve for yourself from today, you can do it within the time that you have. Because what? A time will come when you will need to start a family of your own. There will be demand for financial and emotional support to your immediate and extended families. And the time is coming, if it is not already here, when you have to fulfill your civic responsibility while contributing to the decision-making processes in your families and communities. Time before it is too late. And another thing about objective is you want to do whatever. Everything you do from now on to contribute to you to that level. You can make your objectives as hard as possible, but they are of no consequence if they are not relevant or do not contribute to your goal. There are a number of outcomes the intermediate objectives and milestones were set. Such review involved reassessment of the specific nature of your objectives to determine if you still have a clear understanding of how each objective can take you closer to your goal, and whether the objectives itself also are still relevant to your goal. After you receive your high school diploma today, for instance, do you still think it is relevant to seek a university degree, or do you want to switch to vocational qualification? Are you still committed to becoming a doctor, or you want to switch to a bachelor in nurse, midwifery, or laboratory science? Are you going to pursue that original goal of a PhD in economics, or you will now prepare to undergo an entrepreneurial training so that you can start your own business? These reviews and reassessments of the objectives help you not only to stay focused on that long-term goal, but also keep the objectives smart, adaptable, and dynamic. The second process in keeping your objectives relevant to your goal is to keep the focus on yourself and what you want to become. Too often we are swayed by the temptation to conform to others because the expectation about what is good for us. Suddenly, and often to the surprise of those who are supporting us, either materially or morally, we want to change our objective to suit those of our friends, even when their objectives are not consistent with our goals. Too often we are witness young people who drop out of the race towards that goal because they feel that the career choices of their friends look more attractive and appealing than theirs. Someone who was making steady progress towards a university degree gets tempted to pursue a musical or sporting career because their childhood friends have become celebrities with thousands of followers. Take the instance where a student who enrolled for a business course, such as accounting or economics, gets enticed by the shining white coats of medical doctors and social biology and chemistry at the risk of going back to freshman level and the potential struggles to adjust to the conceptual differences between social sciences and natural sciences. Another example of losing focus on goal is a perception that certain disciplines bring more financial rewards than the one that you have chosen. The truth is that the rewards you expect is a function of your dedication, your exceptional academic performance, and eventually your productivity on the job that will earn you the distinction and reward that you think are achievable in other professions, other disciplines. A third reminder to keep you focused on your objectives and ultimate goal is to avoid distractions. Distractions can come in many forms, but we will consider three at this time. One, indulging in activities that relegate or demote your objectives and goals from being your number one priorities to second choice or other options. Two, redirecting your time, resources, and effort away from your long-term goal to temporary or short-term purposes. And three, allowing momentary setbacks to create permanent mental barriers between you and your ultimate goal. Let us consider each of these distractions in some detail, beginning with activities that push your goals to the back seat or descend to the bottom of the scale of preference. If, for instance, you decide on professional journey to go to the diamond mine or the gold mine, or to take advantage of emerging business opportunities, or to get immersed in the prevailing social activities because you don't want to be left behind, you are essentially relegating your goals and objectives from primary to secondary significance, whether you consciously mean it or not. However, if this choice is rooted in a clear strategy to secure additional resources to support your goal. And if such activities do not take away the time you need for your primary activities, it should be viewed as means to enhance your capacity to achieve your objective and increase the possibility of arriving at your goal. On the other hand, if such pursuit become permanent substitute for your original goals, you have set yourself on the path to failure. To redeem yourself, you have to strategically reposition your priorities by switching from your original goal and proceed to set a new one that is centered around one of the things that once distracted you. If you don't want to be an absolute failure, you have to be very sure to become successful in your new vocation. Redirecting your resources from pursuing your main goals to other very short-term purposes is only a temptation that has a potential to cause future disappointment and frustration. But it can also turn into a huge gamble with your life. And resources in a context to be your school fees from yourself or philanthropists. Resources could also be the valuable time you have to attend classes, study your notes, do your assignment, and prepare for your period tests and exams. We have heard the figurative expressions that once against eating your school fees without, or eating your lunch before recess, or the farmers eating their seed rice before the planting season. The basic interpretation of this popular saying lies in the economic concept of using present using the scarce resources you need to achieve your academic and professional goals towards becoming the other one. If you switch the resources you have to pursue your career, to pursue your activities, and then you switch to spend it on people, slave needs, to have a big boss or to impress your peers, or to imitate the lifestyle of celebrities, is a major risk that comes with lifetime regrets. After some years, when the carefree lifestyle of youth gives way to the demands and responsibility of adulthood, the reality will be the kind of outcome that is described with the successful political expression, Balata now. Balata now, as we understand it, those moments of pleasure and enjoyment that ate your money in the clubs, on the beaches, at the pool parties, and during frequent Fridays will become better regrets if by that time you are unable to provide the universal basis, food, clothing, and shelter for yourself and your family, or send your kids to school or take them to the hospital. Don't get me wrong. I was a young man before. I was a young student. I completed high school at the age of 20. I was in university before I became 22. As a young man, I did almost everything young people do, except smoking and drinking. I was very active in student political and social activities. I was prefect for 2 successive classes. I became prefect for Johnny Voker High School at the age of 19. I was a member of the group that established the JVS Press department. I sang in the school choir for 3 years. I organized and participated in talent shows. All these things require you to, all of this require you to be socially receptive and outgoing on campus and in the larger community. But the bigger point I want you to take home is this. You do have the freedom to indulge in extracurricular activities. You should be very clear about the opportunity cost of every extracurricular activity. If a talent show comes on the night before your quiz or exam, you have an opportunity cost to pay and a decision to make. If the pool party or night on the beach comes on the day before your university exam, or your aptitude test, or your job interview, there is a decision you have to make about the cost.
Yeah.
When you need to concentrate on that quadratic equation or correctly analyze the cost and production graph, but you can't resist the sound of your favorite music coming from the club, and you know your friends are there having a good time, you certainly have one of the most complicated opportunity cost decisions to make. But let me tell you this, you can make it. You can resist that temptation to sacrifice your test grade, to sacrifice your college admission, your job interview, or your internship test. That decision will be the difference between a degree holder and a college dropout, between being gainfully employed and being jobless, between that scholarship for advanced studies and the unfulfilled hope of professional advancement. The third barrier that you must overcome to reach your goal is allowing temporary setbacks to derail your momentum. That is, when you are moving and you are already in flight, either as a footballer, for example, moving with a gun, or when the car or motorbike is already moving, you don't want anything to come in front of you because you are already in momentum. So your momentum that you are wanting on to go towards achieving your goal, do not allow temporary setbacks to derail you. It's like when you try a journey, then the clouds come in the sky. It doesn't mean the sun has disappeared. The sun is still there. So your goal should be like this. Temporary setbacks should be seen like the clouds. They are temporary. Some of you might be challenged by a sudden loss of financial support. You might be beset by natural calamities like disaster. Loss of income. On a small business, part-time job or motorbike, you rely on for your education expenses gets affected by unforeseen events. Each of these scenarios creates complex crisis that stretches your mental and emotional capacity for decision making, including decisions about whether to keep your goals on track or to give up the race. No matter how complex and complicated the decision-making process you might face, here are two simple statements of motivation. One is derived from spiritual source and the other from practical life experience. The Bible says, there is no temptation you will face that nobody has faced before. And the second one says, what one man or one woman has done before, another person can. People have gone through temptations. They have experienced setbacks. They succeed. If these shortcomings were not true, you would not have me standing here before you today as your keynote speaker. And thousands of other Liberians of my generation encountered loss of family income, joblessness, business failures, and other setbacks and had the potential to derail a pursuit of educational and professional goals. For worse than any of this, we have to endure all the violence and atrocities of a 14-year war that eliminated all opportunities and nearly extinguished any prospect of education serving as a useful pathway to better days. We also have many expressions from other members of society intended to disparage education or any structured approach to acquire a professional specialization. These were some of the things we had. Where were the book people when guns were firing? Your friends are looking for money, then you say you're going to school. For those who were not financially potent to attract a relationship, this is some of the things you will hear. that both will take care of me and the children, that has some relationships for. And the worst experience was when school campuses, workplaces, and business centers were raided to forcibly take students and teachers or money and goods to the lawsuit. Did these obstacles cause some to abandon their goals and give up on their dreams? Yes, there were so many. Was there someone who endured all these tribulations but did not abandon their goal or gave up on their dreams? Yes, and your humble servant experienced these and many more indignities, including unfounded accusations and 44 days of intimidation, underground detention, and dispossession of personal property among others. Those were unfortunate times for the country, for some communities, and for some families, and for some individuals. And we pray and work against similar experience from ever resurfacing anywhere in Liberia. But the lesson from this historical example is that when tragedies, misfortunes, and other setbacks conspire to demotivate you from pursuing your goal, you must look beyond your immediate circumstances. You must look beyond your specific personal interest. You must also consider all those who will rejoice when you succeed. Today, your family are here celebrating. Imagine if you are giving up when things were tough. You must think about those other interests and derive the energy, the motivation that will re-energize you and keep you focused on your goal. Now to the graduating class. Now to the graduating class. Today, you are the focus of attention of the entire school and the Saclepea community. Everyone is here looking at you. You are the star. You are our celebrities today. My question to you is, what will you be doing after the dust of the celebration settles? When the parties and speeches are over, and when the congratulatory messages and greetings become fewer and far between, and the people turn their attention to something else, are you going to remain focused on that goal you set for yourself some time ago? If your answer is yes, have you identified the next degree, the next objective? Since this graduation marks the achievement of one of the objectives on your journey towards that goal, you are just completing one objective. You still get many more. Have you identified the next step that will take you to your goal after today? What is your next objective? Is it to pass the upcoming university or vocational school entrance? Or is it to try your hands at doing something to raise resources for the next episode of your journey towards your goal? As you walk out of high school today, do you still have the same professional and career goal that you set way back? Or after some reviews and reassessment, you are modified or even change your goal about a profession or vocation? You only need to remember that this graduation ceremony is not your goal. It is just the latest in the series of objectives you have to achieve before you reach your goal. You still have many more objectives ahead of you. Some will appear to you like obstacles, while others might seem irrelevant or inconsequential. but you owe it as a duty to yourself and to those who love and support you to achieve each objective. For that is what you have to do. And don't forget that the objectives you are set on your way to achieving your goal have to be smart. They have to be specific. They have to be measurable. They have to be attainable. They have to be realistic, and they have to be time-bound. Otherwise, you will be meandering and wandering until you become disillusioned and lose direction and lose sight of your goals. Finally, goals are not easy to achieve. If you play or follow sports, you will have a fair appreciation of what it takes to get a goal. In a non-sporting world of real day-to-day life, it is even more difficult and challenging because unlike sports, there are no written rules, there are no referees. You are the player, you are the referee, and you are the one making the rules as you go along. As long as you keep moving towards your goal. And if you will forget, actually, I have spoken about this afternoon. Don't forget that your goal, whatever you define it to be, can be achieved only. Your goal can only be achieved by a long effort and hardship. So don't rest or go to sleep. This is not a end, but only the beginning or a commencement. As you leave this hall, keep your heart firmly fixed on your goal. Your future depends on it. Your family, friends, community, and country depend on your goals. Once say, do not let your goal fade away. Thank you.
So that was the voice of the guest speaker, Mr. Anthony.
Thank you. Hello.
The assistant of fiscal affairs, Liberia.
He does that. He does that. It's good. He does that. And it's good. Indeed, so please amplify. As we all know that book is good, indeed, book is good. Key lesson. Next on our agenda is presentation and overview of the graduating class, which is going to be done by Mr. Isaac Miller, VPA, class principal for instruction and also class principal. Followed by class principal for administration, sorry, you say, class principal for administration, and also class principal, which will be followed by sorry, I have the master of ceremony here. I have the master sheet. So what I have is not going down. Sorry. Next is special message. The special message will be done by our hard working person, Mr. David Yee. Can you turn your hands together as we receive Mr. Yee? Hello. Insisting on the same protocol. We want to let you know God has been on the side of Johnny Voker High School. All over the top, one I have experienced when convocation of thought come. We thought what we have achieved, some of our problems we share with our parents and guardians and even kids who come to see with us. Johnny Voker has been so successful. Johnny Voker has been so successful. When I took office, the characteristics of good school. It's a result. It's a student performance. When I took over the school, along with my colleagues,
There was no graduation ceremony. But upon putting us to the platform as principal and other staff, we talk about Johnny Voker has been producing very high number of graduates. We want to say thank to the PTA of Johnny Voker High School. When we talk over, Johnny Voker classroom was a bypass for students to go home with the effort of the PTA. They plant the tree, the school campus to keep students in class. So PTA, you make that contribution. Contribution is what can. We recognize you. Again, the government. We want to extend our honor deal through the district office. We want to extend our sincere thanks and appreciation. This government has not forgotten about Johnny Voker High School or the service school. When my early talk about, at that time we went to budget bureau, which were not so capacitated. So you were told that there was a budget for Johnny Voker High School. A condition did not permit us to get our budget. The rescue team came on board. And prior to the rescue coming on board, we were able to be recognized, to bring Johnny Voker, to bring and change the campus. This is what makes the school, this school, a better school. Students leaving the campus, going home, coming to school is regulated. Down, Johnny Voker has turned into a modern school. The coming of the rescue team have turned the whole cat. Honorable Minister had to bring out with all the tentacles of the rescue team. The district office is proud to say thank you to the government. Thank you to the government as we walk outside. They said, we have made a plan for the school. The students should be filled in, not to go out of the fence. This is what was the purpose of the fencing. Now after that, the rescue team said the building is dilapidated. As a result, with your genuine of your consideration, Johnny Voker was considered and received a grant to improve the life tenure of the students in Johnny Voker High School, more especially when it comes to feeling to keep them in class. When you go out to make a grant to Johnny Voker High School to improve the tenure of the things supposed to be in the hot place. This is what the rescue team has done. The cafeteria is only recipe and reputation. Thank you to the government. As we are going now, the school, what we are intending, look at the fee. The rescue team has even that side and Johnny Voker fee, D1, consider as a fee. Rescue team, we want to say thank you. Thank you so much. Members of the rescue team. Hello, Minister. One of the problems we are going through now, Johnny Voker, twice a bedtime rescue team has gone check the Johnny Voker school. Live in the president, computer is now in Johnny Voker school. Twice a bedtime, computer in Johnny Voker High School. The light we're using is not LED. LED is up now. But the light we're using was done by the rescue team. So we can't go out of current. Honorable Minister, as you are going, one of the problems we are facing, to curtail problems and parents from paying fees and paying money. We appeal to your honor of these people need to have a special kind of when we have a graduation. When we have a graduation, we will never bury them $1. That is the working tool we have now. And then we are inviting you to carry to our honorable that Johnny Voker of Voker for the funeral of Johnny Voker. By the time you come for the next graduation, air conditions supposed to be in Johnny Voker. So that you see how we sweating. These are the conditions we are facing. Honorable Minister. Honorable District Education Officer. He has sent you billions and said thank you to the government. And we continue to see support. Most of our PPs are now on payroll. We said thank you to the government. Please, now we're standing. Some stay behind. Carry that message that our VPs, schools should be more high-tech%. The characteristics of good school is a result, and the result comes from the teachers. We need teachers and people who we are selecting to come to the classroom. When the moon is up, the star cannot shine. You will come out safe. So even I want to my workers that the school survey is doing well, you can cover all these things. What survey is doing is reflecting on some of them. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for your coming. We know life has come to Voker. The coming has brought life. The coming of the rescue team has brought life into Johnny Voker. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Teachers of Johnny Voker School, teachers of the district, collaborating with one another. The district is successful. After here, when you go to Unica, there will be high graduation. When you go to Central High, there will be high graduation. The characteristics of preschool is the result. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, special message from the principal.
Thank you.
And of course.
Okay. So next on our agenda is the presentation overview of the graduating class, which will be done by Mr. Isaac, Vice Principal for Administration, and also the class sponsor. We will also be followed by the acceptance of the graduate, which will be done by University Engineer, CEO, Saclepea Education District number 1.
Thank you. I want to know this. We are well pleased. You will Anthony G. Miles, Deputy Minister of Fiscal Affairs, Minister of Finance and Development Planning. The Honorable University SG Yaka, District Education Officer, Secretary Education District 1. My friend and brother Morridge, Honorable Morridge, you see. Our noble Secretary General for the ruling party name account, and also the service inter coordinator of the member. My brother, the Daha Unity Party, man, there, I'm a praise. I'm both chair, who are talking about a couple of years, my music bill. No man, you're talking from my two, Saclepea Central High School. Mr. David M. the principal of the High School. My hard-working Mr. Dixie and Thomas, being the rest of the folks out there in the teaching staff here. My own, honestly, I salute you again. Graduating class, ladies and gentlemen,
No. Something have kept pushing me to become a teacher. Every time I try to leave teaching, something to bring me back to teach. That means that's where I should be. I'm happy to be here, honestly. I'm happy to be a part of making people for tomorrow. I don't take much of our time. I also want to recognize every effort, every contribution that you have done to all the communities. Not only in Lima, like your own nation. I'm grateful to you. I will have a son for the second day like you. Thank you so much. You know, that special operation is I used to be the chair. I had 10 o'clock for the next school year, and people will be the chair now. So I've been working all along for several years. Thank God they have been successful. I started a class with 10 days, with 245 students. I don't know where some of them drop. Some of them went to the school. Then we hear some of them pay. We take no year. We don't do one thing. And last year, we got into a day. There were 200 students, 2 drop. 100 in this year, we send them for you. Now I'm finished. Now, so out of the 121, and there is a Saclepea pass, the service of visual education in watch, 101%. But the academic education plan, all of them to pay for last 82 of them here. You are sitting here today, and just from behalf of the school administration, my colleague, now I've been told to the PTA, rest of you, how much you I'm pleased to send you 800 your patient 182 students sitting here. Tell you, think on the students. Chief, I'm calling up as well. From you, graduate.
Low. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
One honorable guest speaker, please allow me to stay on the existing protocol to speak. And I said all protocol exempt and sustained. Before I can confirm those students as graduates, I just want to talk one or two things. The principal just make sure honorable guest speaker and our brother and Minister of Finance, Fiscal Affairs Department. I just want to explain to you few policy of the Education Ministry that we still struggling to meet up with. I expect the policy of Education Ministry. One teacher is to host a class of 50 students. But because of the constraint, we mostly see a teacher hosting more than 100. Because of the quest, we cannot place those students out and use the policy against them. So, for this, most of our teachers are still struggling to enter the world of government employed system. They still have some names that even understanding when it is cast upon me, I would actually like in our setting, which is volunteer teacher. Because in our setting, volunteer means you just there providing your services and no pay. As a result, it is becoming our constraint as supervisors. Because any other person who is not paid cannot be really or check on, and you can't have any demand on that person. So since the government is making efforts, Honorable Minister, I want us to look in that direction. Well, before I can get you to sit and confirm your graduates, I will just say one or two things to you, graduates. The philosopher said, and I quote, let your light shine so that your light will take glory to God, your Father, who is your maker. That's what I mean. Let your light shine so that your work can give glory to Johnny Voker High School. Let your light shine so that your work can give glory to those teachers that prepared you as high school student and you are about to graduate. Please take this into consideration. As you stand now, you are representing 3 institutions or 3 characters. What are those? You are representing the institution you are coming from. Anything you will do out there will reflect on this institution as a graduate from JBS. So whatever you will do out there, let it represent JBS. The second group that you are representing, that's your family. Whatsoever you will do as a graduate from JBS, which your family is spending on you, they say, which child is this? Which school this one graduated from? And the last one is yourself. They say that one is a high school graduate. Those characters that you are representing, please try to protect them. Are we there? Graduate, Kida said. Was that Kida said? Kida said. All right. As like the power invested in me by the rescue government through the Ministry of Education, I will take this time to grant you a graduate as graduate of Johnny Voker High School and a class graduate here in Republic of Nigeria. From now on, you are a Voker High School student. You are graduate. Thank you. Thank you. It is good. You may be seated. You may be seated. The next on our program agenda is remarks, and the first person here is Honorable Mr. Hassan Bility, Representative District number 7. Okay, so representative, so we will make that. Next is remarks from the office of the district education officer. The district education officer. Okay, so we are still in continuation. The next is remark from the district commissioner. Remark from the district commissioner. Okay. Next is remark from the Parent Teacher Association, PTA. Parent Teacher Association. All protocols and seats. All of our parents,
to all of our parents. We want to say a big thank you to you. And you know the reason why I tell you to thank you? The reason is you have been well with us. You prepare these children and send them here. And you are not with them. And we are here representing you. In almost 2 years, we are now back to the police station to go and defend them, or to go and beg on their behalf. When it comes to Trump, so we want to appreciate the present government for our race agenda in fighting against drugs. And to our students, we want to appreciate it very, very much. Because like 2 years ago,